Pokemon. From an outsider's perspective, this game may seem pretty boring, and that is because it really is. It is a baby game made for children, and it's really easy. To remedy this problem, Pokemon fans have created their own types of challenge runs over the years. It started with basic Nuzlocks, to randomizers, to extreme challenges like, "Hey guys, I'm gonna go beat Pokemon Emerald with one Magikarp and I'm not allowed to drink or eat any food for 5 days. Now, I was just in the mood for doing another playthrough of an older Pokemon title, but I don't want to use some self-imposed rule set. That makes things complicated. But then my friend Matt swung around and said,
"Hey James, do you want to do a Pokemon FireRed and Leaf Green challenge run with a self-imposed rule set?"
And I said, "Gee, sure Matt, that sounds like fun. I'm so glad that we are friends and we are having this natural conversation right now that is not scripted. In this challenge run, I'm gonna name my rival after you because we are great friends." So then I got to join him in his playthrough of Pokemon FireRed and Leaf Green. There were 5 types assigned to each of us, and then 1 shared type, making 6 types that we could use in total. We were only allowed to use Pokemon with these types. The types I got were Water, Flying, Steel, Rock, Grass, and then the final shared type was Dragon. If there were a dual type with a different type, those were not allowed either. There are some other rules as well, and I've put down the full rule set in the description below if you want to have a look. But in short, no healing items in battle, HM slaves, doesn't really matter too much, but I chose to only use HMs on my main party members unless I couldn't learn it at that point. And also, battle mode set. Because let's be real, if you're still playing Switch mode, you really can't complain about the difficulty being too easy. So let's dive into Pokemon FireRed and my experience with this challenge run. I awoke in Palatown and left the house without even saying goodbye to my poor mother. Having the water type, I immediately chose Squirtle, the frog Pokemon, and named him Frog because he is a frog. And then I proceeded to beat up Matt's Bulbasaur with pure skill alone. Doing the fetch quest for Professor Oak, I then immediately made it through Viridian Forest where I had my first death. Because I can't use healing items in battle, poison and burning is now a very serious threat. I went through the forest carefully as to not get poisoned again, and finally arrived at PEWTER City, where I challenged Brock. Luckily for me, he did not have his trusty drying pan, so I wiped the floor with him. I spammed A and started watching a YouTube video, and when I looked down, the battle was over. I was kind of disappointed. Had a look around the museum, saw some fossils, and saw a rocket ship. Pretty cool stuff. Heading towards Mount Moon, Frog evolved into an even bigger frog. Look at that frog. I also met a man who sold me the rarest Pokemon ever, Magikarp. I decided to name Magikarp Guy. We went exploring this scary cave called Mount Moon, and I met these really cool guys called Team Rocket. They were looking for fossils, probably to donate to the museum. I mean, why else are they called Rocket? Anyway, turns out I actually found the fossils. One of the fossils had some sort of holy aura about it, so I picked the dome fossil instead. Heading out of the cave, I found myself wandering into CERULEAN City. I went and destroyed Misty's team with relative ease thanks to Frog learning how to bite things. Who knew psychic starfish couldn't handle a frog biting them? After that, I decided to go up to Nugget Bridge and oh no, it's my rival Matt. This battle took several attempts. Sleep Powder and Leech Seed is an unholy combination. After finally beating him because of pure skill, I met some crazy guy called Bill who turned himself into a Pokemon. He was begging me to help change him back into a person, so I decided to steal his ticket to the SSN and make my way through someone's burglarized home to Vermilion City. Went and did some training and Guy finally evolved. Together we went and destroyed the SSN and killed Matt's Raticate as punishment for the battles in Cerulean. Then I gave some old guy a massage and he told me how to cut down some trees. Neither my frog or my guy were capable of cutting down a tiny tree, so I had to catch this oddish to do the job for me. I decided to leave Lieutenant Surge alone because I really didn't want to get electrocuted to death. So I headed through Rock Tunnel without flash, and I stumbled around blindly in the dark, just hoping I would eventually find my way out. Oh yeah, Frog evolved again. Now he's the biggest frog I've ever seen, and just look at him. Oh my god, what a frog! Eventually we made it out to Lavender Town. It made me remember all these really badly written creepypastas, and I was so scared I ran away to Celadon City to go gambling. And then I bought a Dratini named Charlie. And I also got a CD that allowed Charlie to have a flamethrower. I got some tea from this old lady and gave it to the very nice security guard who let me into Saffron. I made my way back to Vermilion City to rummage through some trash cans for about half hour. Then I beat up Lieutenant Surge with Frog because he was pretty overleveled at this point. Back in Celadon, Erica's Vileplume gave me a bit of trouble initially, but then Frog just took it out with ease. Not knowing what to do next, I decided to go back and continue playing the slots and... Hey wait, isn't that one of those Team Rocket guys over there? Turns out this arcade is bigger than I thought. I played around on the spinning platforms for a while, and then I eventually met this dude named Giovanni. He seemed like a pretty nice guy. We had a fun Pokemon battle, and he left me a Sylph Scope. So I decided I'll go back to Creepypasta Town and scope things out. Got to fight Matt again at Lavender Town. I wonder why he was here. Scaling my way up Pokemon Tower, Charlie evolved. Then we used the Sylph Scope to identify the ghost of Marowak, who didn't stand a ghost of a chance against my Frog. Had some fun with my friends from Team Rocket again, and then I met Mr. Fuji. He gave me a flute to wake up Snorlax, and with that, I headed to Fuchsia City. Here I went on safari, got the ability to surf, and found some gold teeth which would later get me HM strength. Then it was time to fight the Poison Master Koga. This is one of the first gym battles that I genuinely struggled with. Just check out this clutch victory here. One more turn and I would have definitely died due to poison damage. Now that I'm able to surf, I decided to get the final members for my team. First I went back to the museum in PEWTER and grabbed the old Amber. Then I went back to Pallet Town, but not to visit home or anything like that. No, I used surf and I went down and I caught a Tangela, the only pure grass type in this entire region. Her name is Sasha. Then I went down to CINNABAR and turned the old Amber into Martin the Aerodactyl. No! And the Dome Fossil into Cool Guy the Kabuto. It was only afterwards that I noticed the irony. Poor guy. I decided to drop off Cool Guy in the daycare, and I raised Martin and Sasha via regular battling. Not knowing what to do next, I headed to Saffron City and noticed the lads from Team Rocket chilling at Sylphco. So I decided to go party with them. Heading up to the top, I got to beat up Matt again with pure skill. Then I met with Giovanni, an absolute legend. He was so cool, we had a battle and everything. He's just such a nice guy. The president of Sylphco was so impressed by our battle, he gave me a Master Ball. After all of that, I went to fight Sabrina, and it was pretty easy. You know, Frog just bit all the Pokemon to death. Yeah, it was very challenging, and this is really, really hard. I returned to Cinnabar Island to go fight the Fire Master Blaine, but the door was locked, so I broke into an old Pokemon mansion, fought some guys, and eventually found the key. In the gym, they wanted me to do this stupid Pokemon quiz, so I ignored that and I fought all the trainers until I got to Blaine. He was almost challenging, but I put out his fire with relative ease thanks to Martin and Frog. Once leaving, I ran into that crazy guy from before, Bill. He was pretty upset that I stole his SSN ticket, so he made me do some fetch quests on 1, 2, and 3 Island. Oh yeah, Cool Guy evolved too. So with not much left to do, I decided to go fight the final gym leader. And look who it is. It's our friend Giovanni. We had an amazing gym battle, and he told me he was going to disband Team Rocket and finally retire. He's done so much good for the scientific community. Finding fossils, researching ghosts, opening an outstanding museum in PEWTER City. You know, he deserves a happy retirement. There isn't much left to do, so I headed off to the Indigo Plateau. Victory Road was fun, strength puzzles, you know, always a joy. Then I made it to the Pokemon League. However, I felt I was way too underleveled to take it on, so I decided to head back to the Safari Zone, get myself a lucky egg, and then do a tiny bit of grinding with some trainers on one island. Charlie finally evolved into a fully grown Dragonite, and I was finally ready to take on the Elite Four. Even with the grinding, I was a little bit underleveled, but I did that purposely because I really wanted a challenge. I also decided that if I lost any point in the Elite Four, I would not be doing any soft resetting. I would be having to start from scratch. This took 5 attempts. Lorelei was the easiest of all the Elite Four, but her Lapras did give me some trouble. Bruno was when I had my first loss. His Machamp is really dangerous if it sets up several bulk ups. On my second run, I got up to Agatha, who is equally bad with her second Gengar. It likes to spam Hypnosis. My third attempt had me finally make it to Lance, who I was very concerned about, but Charlie just swept his team. What I really wasn't prepared for was the champion, my rival Matt. In my first battle with him, he kept switching to different Pokemon to have a better type advantage, and this isn't something you really see the AI do in newer Pokemon games. His Alakazam literally just murdered everything with ease. On the 4th run I had a much better time against Matt initially, but eventually he knocked out all my Pokemon except for Martin, and his final Pokemon, Arcanine, had Intimidate, basically guaranteeing my loss. Then, my final attempt. It started really badly. Trying to set up a sweep with Charlie, several turns were wasted using X items, and his Pidgeot managed to negate them all with Whirlwind. I did manage to eventually pull through in this battle though, with a lot of frustration along the way, and I finally became the champion of the Kanto region. Was this challenge run really a challenge? As a whole, not terribly, but it definitely does add some spikes of difficulty in areas I wasn't expecting it. The run definitely got me to use new Pokemon I never thought I'd ever try before, like Tangela, or raise ones I didn't initially have the patience for, like Dragonite or Kabutops. And I had a fun time re-experiencing the best way to enjoy the Kanto games, all over again. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and if you did, please hit the like button, and also subscribe for more content. In the Animal Crossing video, I asked you guys what your Animal Crossing towns were like, and here were your responses. The comment question for today is, if you were a Pokemon gym leader, what type would you have? I personally am partial to the bug type myself. Let me know in the comment section below and I'll be sure to feature them in the next video as well. Peace everyone.